Feature Friday.
The freshest. All right, so we had a little bit of a nightmare this weekend, filming stuff and losing footage for some bizarre reason.
Yeah, 2 days in a row.
So I actually have seen this. We have seen this video.
Yep, yesterday.
Literally last night. But I liked it so much, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much, and like a lot of my technical knowledge came out. That I just thought, you guys have been requesting it so much as well. So I thought, let's go again. Maybe I know that I will discover new things throughout in the video. Because there are certain videos that the more you watch, the more you learn and you discover, and you get to understand little corners that you didn't get to see the first time round. So I'm excited.
Yeah, when we first watched it yesterday, it did spark a lot of very interesting conversations. Especially like seeing someone like Regine progress, and this whole idea of being on prime in your prime singing time. So it's interesting to see, and also a lot of you guys have been able to see such progress of Regina and her evolution in singing
throughout the years.
Throughout the years, because it's not like she was never a bad singer, and that was what was so interesting about this video when we watched it yesterday for the first time. Like, it's not that she's a bad singer; she's never been a bad singer. When she reached the public eye, she was already at a great level. But it's this sort of hunger and
forever
willingness,
wanting to keep learning and keep achieving better.
For evolution, regardless of how high up the tree of the
greatness
you are, they still have this sort of individuals sort of have this willingness to improve and look for help and change techniques and be willing to forget old habits and create new ones.
That's
very
right.
Impressive.
And at the end of the video yesterday, not that my admiration was anywhere low, but it just went up like 1,000 times more, because incredible journey.
So apologies.
What a career.
So apologies indeed that we have seen it before. It's just we lost all the footage and it's been a nightmare for the last few days. So we just thought we'll it was amazing.
Revisit it anyways. Absolutely. Yeah, it was so enjoyable.
Yeah, the audio in this one is rough. It's really back.
It's a very life-setting 2000s type of audio.
Still hear it though.
Gorgeous though, absolutely stunning.
Yeah, she's awesome, man.
Fantastic. Woo. So impressive though.
This was 20 years ago, like us.
Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. And I don't.
Such a banging song.
Gorgeous dress as well. It's beautiful.
Good.
Ooh, crap! Wow! Incredible. I like the natural thing that was already there. Like, she was already a star. That to start the video off with that specific video, the evolution with that specific video already sets you up for greatness. So if this is where we're beginning, like, the rest of it is gonna get a heck of a lot better. You know?
At that time she was 30.
No, in the 2000s. No,
yeah, she was 30 because she's 50 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was only 30. She was 30 there. So she had been for a while in the industry anyways. Remember, she's been in the industry for like 43 years.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Already 16 years.
She was 16 years old. No, she had already been performing for 16 years.
Yeah, because she's been in the industry for like 42, something like that.
What?
No, for like 38 years. Something around
35 years, I think we discovered yesterday.
Debuted when she was 14, right?
That is incredible. Of
course, she was a joke then. You know what I mean?
My God, what the hell?
But what's interesting is the reason why this video was so interesting. Is so interesting is because 20 years is a long time in a career, right? This is the later 2 decades that we're seeing, the most recent ones, and the age of 30 to 50, you would expect not to see many changes. You know, usually voice changes, like the most popular ones is like,
puberty usually are the most dramatic ones.
Yeah, from 14 to 27, that would be an interesting one. See how that change happened. But this one is usually not that intriguing. But unless one of the things we were discussing before in another video that also you guys are never gonna see because you got lost in deleted files limbo, is that taking care of your voice, longevity, technique, getting rid of bad habits in terms of consumption of alcohol, smoking, screaming, partying at late night.
Even singing bad habits, that you grow up with thinking that is the ultimate, the holy grail, and then later on you discover that those things are detrimental for you later.
That you're kind of taking years away from your singing.
That's right.
So it's so impressive that. Well, you see towards the end of the video, like how insane it is, and I'm sure all of you know, but it's so impressive how she's maintained such a long career.
Clarity, though, the clarity. What I like about the first clip that we just saw is the natural twang of her voice. It naturally sits really high in that video. It sits very, very high up here in the cheeks, kind of comes through a bit nasal in the top notes and on those belts. And there was a tiny hint of grabbing onto that note. So not complete freedom of the notes. That doesn't take away the fact that she couldn't, it's not a question of whether she could or she couldn't do the note or reach the note. In this case, that is not a problem because she's so naturally gifted. And obviously having 10 years in the industry by that point, let's say 10, already teaches you a few tricks, and you learn a few tricks on the way up that help you get there. But Exhibit B.
She looks so good there.
So here there's a lot of more warmness. So there's she's beginning to find grounding. So there's a bit more reaching for resonance in the chest. Still not very natural to her. Still not very natural to find that grounding in this stage. Like it doesn't. And I find a lot of I relate to this journey a lot because I also learned to sing when I was speaking in Spanish. So when I speak in Spanish, my larynx are naturally higher when I'm speaking, and I think in Tagalog you also have that natural inclination to have higher larynx when you're speaking. So trying to retrain your larynx to find a little bit of grounding, more resonance in your chest, it's one heck of a task. It's really difficult, and here you're hearing hints, very strong foundations of a
You're seeing a technical change.
Yes, a definite switch on finding a bit more grounding, the warmer voice, and you. Yeah.
Why would you try to why would you try to change that? Like, why is twanginess bad?
Twanginess used correctly in different styles of singing is such a tool to have, but it shouldn't be your go-to style. Like, it shouldn't be your go-to because it just especially when you're singing soul or soulful songs,
Doesn't sound as full.
It doesn't sound warm enough.
Right.
It doesn't sound as soulful. It takes away the emotional inclination natural of the style of music. But if you're singing country music, for example, Perfect. The twanginess, it's a must. You must master twanginess. Or when you're singing pop, stuff like that. So but in the style that she naturally sings in, power ballads, R&B, things that are big on the soulful voice, finding resonance is key.
Bra, see.
It's key. See, there's a fight there to find that resonance down here. It's not as simple for her. But then she switches when she finds it. So if you look back, that little phrase, she couldn't find the grounding yet. Like she couldn't find the phrase before. And then when she started riffing, it switched. It was there. Like the larynx was in the right position, and it was the freedom of the runs is a dead sign of finding right grounding and freeing up the larynx. So no tension in the larynx, letting it do whatever you want it to do, so very difficult to get to those bases. And then here, listen to this. Super free, super there, no problem whatsoever. It's very good. See, because the tops for her are no problem. Key there, twang. The twang there is needed. You need the twanginess to get to those top notes. But the tops have never been a problem for her,
right?
Obviously. But now you're gonna see. Nice and open, full. Ooh, nice. The breath control.
Jesus.
Woo! Fantastic. That was crazy. This is like a completely different woman.
It's kind of like thicker, like
no sign of twanginess whatsoever, not an edge. So she discovered that she can get to the top note without using the twang as the form of travel.
Right.
Like, so she found that with back anchoring, neck anchoring, and resonance, you could allow your larynx to be super flexible. But there's obviously been like 3-year gap in between the last clip,
yeah, like that,
and this one. Well, actually 9-year gap since the first clip and this one.
That's what's so interesting. That's
such a jump, though. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's a long time, but that's what's so interesting. It's like, in all these years, she's trying new things, she's changing things, she's probably getting guys come in or women from all over the world, or guys or whatever, come in and discuss techniques, try figure things out, try different stuff, maybe mess up a few things.
I think the key here, what I'm seeing, this is just my personal opinion, guessing what could have happened, but I'm pretty certain there's this shift on the voice and the technique here in this last clip. It's a definite sign of deconstructing old beliefs and old habits of singing and building and getting used to new ones. Such a task that is so difficult to do. I admire singers who do that have been singing all their lives a certain way, and then they deconstruct that, tear it all apart, and learn from zero just to improve their way, and then you get this type of mastery. It's fantastic. It's crazy.
It's very
good.
Impressive.
Looks like a Christmas show.
Could be. Got all the kids holding the candles up.
The hair, the dress, everything gorgeous. The voice, the voice.
Everyone has a candle. Why?
Wow.
This is the
39
last
years
year.
old.
It's a prime voice.
That's a fantastic vocal
Damn.
Definite shift of techniques though. Definite.
2011.
Huh?
2011.
Faithfully. Oh my god!
To turn more motherly to some extent.
So good. It usually big changes in the voice come with like hormonal changes in your body too, especially in women. We don't get like our voice dropping or anything when we're going through puberty, but our voices definitely shift, and the tiny muscles in the larynx are so susceptible to hormonal change.
Right.
It's crazy though. You wouldn't think it's like related, but that totally makes sense. You know, finding like it again. It just found more grounding. There's more warmness to the sound.
It. That
the resonance
more
is
welcoming.
fuller. Yeah. It's interesting. So the body is fantastic.
How is like susceptible that the voice is, and that's one of the things. Like singing is one of the. It's so weird because it's like so many things
delicate.
can affect it, and there's so fine-tuned movements of your throat, your larynx, diaphragm, breathing, and anything like heart rate, nerves, muscle tension, food, what you drink. All that stuff, techniques, like it's like what the fuck? I thought you sing, what I mean?
Yeah. It's so wonderful. The human body is a wonderful place.
It is.
It's crazy. Chilling. She was chilling. Such a pop song.
Very.
Well, it was.
Who was that song?
I don't remember. I just feel like this isn't her natural style.
With acid reflux, she still managed to hit close vowels. Is that Little Mix, is that?
No.
No, it's still good.
Listen,
but acid
reflux is such.
It's like.
Is horrible. It's horrible, especially for singers. It's horrible for anybody. But if you're a singer,
I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah, it's very common. When you have bad eating habits, this happens. Some women get it really bad when they're pregnant, and even after years after they have given birth, this thing keeps coming back, and it's pretty bad because even the soothers, the pills and stuff that are supposed to help you, it's really bad for your throat too.
No.
So because it leaves like a residue, so it gets stuck in your vocal folds when you drink it. It's like like that Pepto-Bismol. They tell not to drink it, not to have it when you're singing, because it leaves residue that gets stuck in your vocal folds when you drink it. And so and it's a real pain when you're a singer and you have acid reflux, because the acid is obviously burning things off on the way up, and it really can create a lot of discomfort while singing, and it prevents you from singing freely and as a whole. So funny, little details that just make such a difference.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's incredible that she hit that F sharp fifth on.
Oh, yeah, this one was out of sync for some reason.
Look at that dress. See, but there's grabbing on that note. There was a bit of grabbing, and it was hard work to get to that note. Oh.
This one, remember, it's out of sync. Yeah. So you might want to skip it, because it doesn't show anything else.
Yeah. So here they're saying she struggled doing high notes because of the acid reflux. It makes total sense. It's so detrimental for singers. It's terrible. It's really uncomfortable. Is it like, I think once you get used to it and you learn how to deal with it, you can get past it, but it's that period of adaptation.
Right.
It's very difficult.
Then there's, I think, one more.
Yeah, I think there's the one from this year. It's like she's chilling in her living room or something.
The doctor said sing often to lessen the acid reflux that she's having.
You know why that is?
Because she gets used to it, or
no. The doctor said to sing more, often, because the abdominal wall when you're singing should be totally relaxed, and when you're walking, when you're in your daily activities, that consciously is engaged, your abdominal wall is engaged, so that's creating muscle tension around your stomach too, on a daily basis. So when you're singing, the usually what they tell you to do is to totally completely relax your abdominal wall. So thinking about it makes total sense, thinking, okay, do more, sing more, because you'll be relaxing the frontal wall of your abdominals, and then you will also be reducing.
That's good.
The acid reflux. How sick.
Singing more, always good, I guess.
Sing till you die.
Especially for her, like,
yeah,
please do sing,
life.
You know what I mean?
Literally. And you're gonna tell me that's not the prime of her years? That's absurd. Oh my god.
She sounds amazing.
Oh, I love her.
That's us.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's way more resonant than Fool. Fantastic, she's awesome. Oh, bravo, bravo. Singers like her just get better with the years. They just get better because they discover things throughout the whole of their careers, and then by the time, like, say for example, her right here, she's 50 years old now, yep. Right? This is this year, so you got that mix of brilliant modulation that is totally been marinating for years in her technique, in her way of singing. She totally settled on that resonance and that on that fullness of the warmness of the sound, and then you also, got the natural ability for those top notes that God sent, basically. It's fantastic. She will continue to get better. I'm not a fan of that term, her prime. Yeah. She is in her prime right now. Like, you cannot tell me that singer is like, she's not on her prime years of singing. That's fantastic.
It's so surprising to me how not surprising, but very admirable that they always have this ability to have this willingness to learn, and this humility about them, that there is more I can learn and more I can do, and things I can work on, regardless of, from my example, like, if you're an athlete or if you're a singer, musician, there's things they always want to learn and think, and that's so, like, mind-boggling to me, but so admirable to see, and it inspires you to learn too, like, there's no roof, there's no ceiling. You can always keep improving.
My admiration 100,000%, even bigger than before.
Let us know if there's other videos you'd like us to check out from Regine or any other sort of. This would be a really interesting kind of series we could do.
Other singers from the Philippines like Gary Valenciano, I would love to see.
Yeah, or singers, any singers you'd like us to check out. It's awesome to have someone like you, or sort of break down on things, and I can learn and things like that. And then it would be really interesting to do maybe other singers and stuff to see how their voice has changed or their evolution of them. Let us know what you think.